In this video, we will go through the trachea and the various levels and branching of the bronchial tree. So let's isolate the bronchial tree and the trachea and just focus on the thorax. The trachea itself is the continuation inferiorly of the larynx, which will be situated above here. The trachea begins at the superior end of the C7 vertebrae and continues down into the thorax, where it will divide into a right and a left main or primary bronchus. They divide because the right main bronchus is dedicated to the right lung, the left main bronchus is dedicated to the left lung. If we rotate, we can see that after the main bronchi, we have our first branching into what are called lobar or secondary bronchi. Now, the right and left lungs have their own individual lessons, which you will go through later. But it is important to point out that the right lung has 3 lobes, while the left lung has 2 lobes. The reason that's relevant when discussing the bronchial tree is, as you'll notice, I just pointed out a secondary, or also known as a lobar bronchus. Specifically, we're looking at the superior lobar bronchus for the right lung. Since the right lung has 3 lobes, it technically has 3 lobar bronchi, 1 for each lobe. If we compare that over here to the left side, if we rotate and zoom out slightly, we can see that the left lung has a superior lobar bronchus and an inferior lobar bronchus, 1 for each lobe. Beyond that, the lung is divided into individual segments. And after we hit our lobar bronchi branches, the next series of branching that occurs is what is called segmental branches. So we can see here is an example of a segmental, also known as a tertiary branch for the left lung. Off of that, we have a series of other branching patterns which will terminate as the terminal bronchioles. And that's the final extent of the conducting portion of the respiratory system. From there, it continues as the respiratory component, which is for gas exchange.